By the late 1930s, Europe was sliding toward another war, and every air staff in London knew they needed more bombers, fast. The accepted wisdom of the day seemed unshakable. A proper bomber carried gun turrets, heavy armor, a big crew, and a metal airframe tough enough to fight its way through enemy skies. Bombers were meant to fly in tight formations, trading weight for defensive firepower, hoping sheer volume of guns would keep them alive. And then Geoffrey de Havilland walked in with a proposal that sounded almost reckless. A light, unarmored bomber with no turrets at all, built largely of wood. His idea was simple, even radical. Speed is armor. Outrun the danger instead of trying to shoot your way through it. RAF leadership dismissed it outright. A bomber with no guns? Made of wood? Impossible. So how did that rejected idea become one of the greatest aircraft of World War II? What made de Havilland's idea even remotely possible was Britain's unusual advantage: wood. By 1940, every pound of aluminum was already spoken for, earmarked for Spitfires, Hurricanes, and naval construction. But Britain's woodworking industry was enormous, filled with skilled craftsmen who could be mobilized far faster than metal airframe factories. Wood was cheap, plentiful, easy to shape, and, just as importantly, easy to repair out in the field. From that reality emerged a design philosophy unlike anything else in the war. Strip the aircraft down to its essentials. Keep the crew to just 2 men. Remove the turrets and let the airframe stay clean and narrow. Minimize drag wherever possible. Then give the airplane the best engines the RAF had, the Rolls-Royce Merlins, letting raw horsepower and a feather-light structure do what armor and gun positions normally would. The goal wasn't to slug it out with German fighters, it was to outrun them. A medium bomber so fast it simply slipped past interceptors, too quick for radar operators to track cleanly, and too agile for Luftwaffe pilots to catch. That bold, almost elegant philosophy, speed over armor, precision over brute force, would become the heart of the Mosquito. And years later, it would lay the foundation for something even faster, the de Havilland Hornet. The brilliance of the Mosquito wasn't just the idea behind it, it was the way the airplane was built. De Havilland designed the fuselage as 2 large wooden shells, each formed from layers of birch plywood bonded over a core of balsa or spruce. These halves were pressed together into a seamless monocoque using aerolite, a synthetic adhesive far stronger than anything carpenters had used before the war. With no need for the ribs, formers, and metal spars found in aluminum airframes, the Mosquito's body came out exceptionally smooth, clean, and aerodynamic, perfect for squeezing out every extra mile per hour. Its wings followed the same philosophy, a wooden structure with plywood skins, strong yet remarkably light. Some later variants blended wood with metal where mission demands required it, but the core remained the same, a lightweight, vibration-friendly design that could be shaped quickly and repaired almost anywhere. And because the airframe relied so heavily on woodworking, production didn't clog the factories already busy with Spitfires and Lancasters. Furniture shops, cabinet makers, piano builders, hundreds of civilian workshops across Britain suddenly found themselves building one of the fastest aircraft in the world. Wood had real strengths: low weight, excellent damping, and easy field repair. But it also had an Achilles heel. In the heat and humidity of places like Burma and India, poor maintenance or inconsistent glue application could lead to softening joints and structural concerns. Was it the glue? The climate? Post-war investigation pointed to a mix of tropical moisture and uneven craftsmanship, not a flaw in the design itself. It was an ingenious structure, born from necessity, that gave the Mosquito its famous nickname, the Wooden Wonder. For all the clever engineering behind its wooden frame, the Mosquito proved its worth the moment it reached combat units. This unarmed bomber turned out to be almost as fast as the very fighters sent to stop it. Depending on the variant, the Mosquito could push into the 400 to 425 miles per hour range, numbers unheard of for a twin-engine aircraft built from plywood. With long legs and excellent fuel economy, it could slip deep into occupied Europe, strike a target with precision, and race home before the Luftwaffe even organized an intercept. Its service ceiling, over 30,000 feet, gave it room to climb above flak bursts or duck beneath cloud cover when missions demanded stealth. Yet speed alone didn't make it remarkable. The Mosquito could haul an astonishing 4,000 pounds of bombs, matching the load of some heavy bombers that needed 4 engines and crowded crews to do the same job. In night fighter form, it carried AI radar, turning this nimble wooden machine into one of the most successful nocturnal hunters of the entire war. Luftwaffe bomber crews learned quickly that if a Mosquito appeared on radar, they had seconds, not minutes, to react. Pilots loved it. They described the airplane as stable, responsive, almost playful in its handling. It rolled easily, turned quickly, and climbed with surprising energy for a twin. Compared to German equivalents, the Ju-88, Bf-110, and He-111, the Mosquito simply ran away with the performance figures. And at low to medium altitudes, it could even outrun or outmaneuver several frontline German fighters, a fact that stunned Allied and Axis airmen alike. It didn't just challenge expectations, it rewrote them. The Mosquito proved that a bomber didn't need armor or turrets if it had something even better: sheer, blistering speed. What made the Mosquito truly unmatched wasn't just its speed, it was what that speed allowed it to become. The same clean airframe and feather-light structure that let it outrun German fighters also made it one of the most adaptable aircraft of the entire war. De Havilland kept refining the design, and soon the Mosquito appeared in an astonishing range of specialized roles. The B-series carried bombs with precision and slipped into hostile airspace before interceptors could form up. The famous FB.VI fighter bomber added guns and rockets, turning the Mosquito into a low-level strike aircraft feared across Europe. PR-series recon variants, stripped for speed, became some of the hardest aircraft to shoot down in the entire conflict. As a night fighter, the NF series paired AI radar with raw performance, making it a dominant force after dark. Then came the anti-shipping TTR series, the navalized Sea Mosquito, and even TT target tug versions used for gunnery training. It all worked because the airframe was so forgiving, light enough to accept new equipment, powerful enough to haul it, and aerodynamic enough to keep its edge no matter the mission. The Mosquito didn't just fill roles, it excelled in them. The Mosquito's reputation wasn't built in classrooms or test reports. It was earned in some of the most daring missions of the entire war. Few stories capture that better than Operation Jericho, the low-level strike on Amiens prison. Flying barely above treetop height, Mosquito crews dropped their bombs with such precision that they blew open the outer walls without leveling the entire complex, allowing resistance prisoners a fighting chance to escape. It looked like something from a Hollywood script, but it was very real, an operation only a fast, responsive aircraft could pull off. The same combination of speed and accuracy powered the legendary Gestapo raids in Oslo and Copenhagen. Mosquitoes skimmed rooftops, navigating cities at near-fighter speeds, threading through church steeples and smokestacks to destroy intelligence archives without flattening surrounding neighborhoods. Few aircraft could fly that low, that fast, with that much confidence. At night, the Mosquito became a different kind of predator. As a radar-equipped night fighter, it shredded German bomber streams and later proved one of the most effective interceptors against the V-1 flying bomb. Many pilots said the Mosquito felt almost purpose-built for the job. Out over the water, strike variants fired rockets into ships and prowled for U-boats along the Atlantic coastlines. And high above Europe, the PR Mosquitoes, unarmed but blisteringly fast, slipped deep into German airspace, returning with photographs no other aircraft could hope to capture. Every mission told the same story: precise, surgical strikes, survival through sheer speed, and a level of versatility no other World War II aircraft ever quite matched. For all its brilliance, the Mosquito wasn't without shadows. especially in the tropical climates where Britain fought hard campaigns late in the war. Wood absorbs moisture, and in the heat and monsoon humidity of India and Burma, poorly maintained airframes could suffer weakened glue joints or swollen structure. A handful of accidents in 1944 to 45 traced back to exactly that mix of moisture, temperature, and inconsistent field upkeep. Its lack of defensive guns, the same feature that made it fast, also meant the Mosquito lived or died by speed alone. If a German fighter managed to catch it unaware, especially on climb-out or during a tight turn, the aircraft had little protection beyond pilot skill and raw horsepower. Long-range missions sometimes demanded fuel over bomb load, limiting strike capacity. And unlike metal fighters, wooden airframes needed careful storage. Leaving a Mosquito outdoors for long periods simply wasn't an option. Brilliant as it was, the wooden wonder still had limits. In the end, the Mosquito wasn't just successful, it was everywhere. Between British and Canadian factories, roughly 7,781 aircraft rolled off the line, with Canada's massive Downsview plant playing a crucial role in keeping production steady through the toughest years of the war. When peace finally came, the Mosquito didn't fade away. It served well into the 1950s with the RAF and several Commonwealth Air Forces, proving just as useful in reconnaissance, coastal patrol, and training as it had been in combat. Its influence stretched even further. The design philosophy perfected on the Mosquito, lightweight structure, clean aerodynamics, and the belief that speed could replace armor, became the intellectual bridge that produced the de Havilland Hornet, one of the fastest piston-engine fighters ever built. Pilots and mechanics kept a soft spot for it too, affectionately calling it the Wooden Wonder, or simply the Mossy. Today, only a handful of Mosquitoes survive, but a few have been brought back to flying condition, most famously KA-114, restored in New Zealand and now thrilling airshow crowds across North America. Watching one lift off today, smooth and fast as ever, feels like stepping back into a moment when ingenuity and necessity created something truly extraordinary. Its legacy is unmistakable. One of the most versatile aircraft of the war, one of the most effective tactical bombers ever designed, and easily one of the most innovative machines in aviation history. If you enjoyed this look back at a legend, don't forget to like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more stories from aviation's golden age.